Hey guys, I just got something in the mail. My Core i7 377 3770K. It's a Ivy Bridge processor, which I will be upgrading from my i3 2100. It's a dual core Sandy Bridge processor. So yeah, just check out the Windows performance ratings here. It's 7.1. You see the lowest on here is processor 7.1. Most of the other stuff is around 7.7. I don't know why quick graphics is 7.2, but actually I think these are out of date. I'm gonna rerun the assessment. In the meantime, you can check out the CPU. See the processor right here. I got a pretty good deal out of it. $225 for a i7 3770K is a pretty good deal, I think. So yeah, it's new, unopened. You can see the seals there. And my motherboard is an H61M DGS by ASRock, and it does support Ivy Bridge too, up to this. This is the highest you can go on my current motherboard. I just made sure beforehand to update like the BIOS and everything, so everything's compatible. And yeah. Meantime, I'm going to show you guys my case. It's a fractal design Core 1000. Very simplistic, sleek design. I love it. It's really small. Micro ATX mini tower. See there. You have all mesh on the front. Oh, that's better. See there, and has an awesome fan controller there. It looks sick. You can see how fast the fan starts running. I have two hooked up. Intake, you can see there's a bit of dust collection there, so the dust filters do their job at keeping the inside dust free. And I have one exhaust as well. You can switch through them by clicking the little fan icon. See the rest? There's no fans connected, so the fan thing isn't spinning. And I ripped out the temperature probes because I thought they looked tacky, and plus they weren't really that accurate. The temperatures would jump around a lot, so yeah, I just ripped it off, and that's why you see that as a temperature. So you can increase the speed. I also got it because my front intake fan by sight is pretty loud, although it moves a ton of air. I think the CFM rating is like 120, so you can increase the speed there. You can see how loud that is. So yeah, I'm gonna turn it back down. There's also an auto mode here. Right now it's on manual. It'll set the temperature according to what the temperature probes say, but I ripped the temperature cords out, so I can't really use the auto mode anymore. But that's fine. I usually just ramp it up when I'm gaming, and then I shut the front intake fan, which is the noisiest, off when I'm watching a movie or something. So yeah, that's really helpful. All the buttons and USB front panel connectors on the side, which is easy to access if the case is facing this way and you're like right here. Your setup's right here. So yeah, there's two USB ports, microphone, headphone jack, and the LEDs there. It's a nice simplistic case. So yeah, the Windows thing is always done. Yeah, I just moved my secondary monitor on this table because I'm gonna lay the case on its side somewhere over there to install the new quad-core i7 Ivy Bridge. And the Ivy Bridge is really power efficient. The power rating is only, I think, 77 watts. I don't know if it says on it here. Yeah, 77 watts. And I think my current processor, the Sandy Bridge dual core, is like 65 watts, I think. So yeah, it's not that big of a difference jumping from dual core to quad core. So yeah, my power supply, 500 watt, should handle it just fine. You can see the new updated scores. 7.7 is the disk. Those are my two SSDs. 3D graphics, gaming graphics, 7.9, and Aero graphics, 7.9. I think that's the highest. And I have a 1660 Ti, and RAM, I got 8 gigs of what was it? G.Skill. It's running at 1333 now because that's a limitation of the i3. So that's another good upgrade, because when you upgrade to Ivy Bridge, the i7, the max speed of the memory would be 1600. So that's good, and that's the speed of the RAM anyway. So yeah, processor is lowest 7.1, and that's why I'm upgrading. So yeah, I'm gonna cut right here, and yeah. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm gonna do a little unboxing of the i7 now. Got my Leatherman Juice CS4. I'm gonna break open the seal for the first time. Another reason why I'm upgrading is because right now, since I have a Sandy Bridge processor, the i3-2100, the video card, which is a PCI Express 3.0 card, is running at 2.0 instead. So that's a limitation of Sandy Bridge, and by getting an Ivy Bridge, the PCI Express 16 slot will become a 3.0. So that should give us a bit of performance, I guess. Not a big jump in performance, but a performance bump nonetheless. So here is the heatsink, which I will be using since I won't be overclocking or anything. So this will do just fine. You can see the copper core there with the pre-applied thermal compound, and the processor itself. I can figure how this comes out. Okay, so yeah, here is the 3770K. K means it can be unlocked. There's no pins on it, unlike the AMD processors. So yeah, I'm gonna put these off to the side for now. And this is the side of the case. I'm gonna unscrew the thumb screws on the side panel. Make sure it's focused. There you go. And this side panel just pops off very easily. I love this case. It's so easy to work in. You can see my setup here. I think my cable management is pretty good for having no cable management options in this case, since it's so small. That's pretty good. I basically stuck all the wires up into this corner here, since I'm using no optical drive. So now all you have to do is remove the old heatsink and processor. Okay guys, to remove the old heatsink, these stock Intel heatsinks, which don't have a backplate behind the motherboard. so you don't have to take the motherboard out to do it. You have to unlock these pins, and to do so, you have to turn them to the direction of the arrow, all 4 of them. So you're turning them counterclockwise. Then you can pop up each pin. Like that. And you can remove the 4-pin CPU fan. Which is giving me trouble, so I'm going to use my Leatherman. There you go. And this should pop off. Like that. You can see the dried on thermal paste there. That was giving us a bit trouble popping off because it's like glued to the processor a bit. See the processor down there. So to remove the old i3 processor, I'm gonna unlatch this bar here by pulling out and up, like that, and then you can remove. I'm making sure I'm grounded by touching the case at the same time, so I don't send any static electricity to the processor. Making sure you're not touching the bottom. There you go. Here's the old i3 with old thermal paste on it. Put this off to the side for now. And we have our new i7 3770K. Move it from the packaging. And this should drop right in. Like that. Make sure it's in properly. And it is. So put down the plate. And put pressure down on that latch and tuck it in under there. So yeah, the new i7 is installed, and I'm going to use the new heatsink right here. And to do that, make sure all the pins are locked by turning them all clockwise, and then line the pins up on the holes on the motherboard. Give it a little wiggle to make sure. So there, and then you can press in. I like to hold the CPU down like that. You will hear clicks like that. Press down in a diagonal pattern, X pattern, like that. And now the CPU heatsink is installed. The fan wasn't spinning freely because the wires were too tight around the fan, so I just basically loosened it up, give it a slack all around, and now it's spinning freely. So make sure the fan is spinning freely and not rubbing against the wires or anything like that. And then plug the 3-pin back into place, or the 4-pin CPU fan back there, and then yeah, it is installed. And we'll see if it boots up properly, and then Windows detects the new processor. Okay guys, I put everything back together, the side panel, plugged everything back in. So this is the moment of truth. I haven't turned it on yet. Let's see if everything works. I'm pressing the power button. Ah, there's the BIOS. And starting Windows. So, yep, everything works. No blue screen of death, crashes, errors, or anything like that. Log in. Is my keyboard plugged in? Forgot to plug in my keyboard. Oh yeah, it's plugged in. I don't know why it's not working. Let me unplug and replug my keyboard. It's giving me issues because it's in a different USB port, I think. Oh, come on. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video here, or cut here. Now it starts to work. Damn. Okay, let me enter in my password. Wow, that's loud. You must restart computer to apply these changes. Okay, I'm gonna do what it says. Restart. Okay, that's better. Monitor's in the proper resolution, nothing's distorted now. See my Far Cry 3 background. Man, that game is so good, I love it. It's one of my favorite games of 2012. Let's see. Let's open up CPU-Z. And Core i7, there you go, 77 watts. Running at, the core speed's at 3.6 gigahertz right now. And yeah, everything seems to be working properly. Oh, what's the temperature of it? Let's see. Eight threads. Yeah, everything seems to be working really good. And let me launch GPU-Z to see if the card's running at PCI Express 3.0. And yeah, you can see there, now, previously it was at PCI-E 2.0, 16, and now it's at 3.0. I'm back. I just want to show you guys the Windows Index score now, the new updated scores. Everything's either 7.7 or 7.9. Our graphics card is the highest at 7.9, but everything else is pretty even, 7.7. So yeah, a very good upgrade here. And now I'm going to see if I can bump up the speed of the RAM to the highest at 1600. I'm going to restart and go into the BIOS. So yeah, this is the ASRock BIOS. It's really cool because it's like a graphic interface. You can use your mouse with it. Let's see. OC tweaker. Okay. DRAM frequency. It's at 1066 right now. And now there's an option for DDR3 1600. Before, the highest was only 1333, but since I upgraded to Ivy Bridge, which allows the highest speed of the memory. So yeah, set that to 1600, and yeah, voltage is 1.5 volts, good. And do F10, save configuration changes, and exit. So yep, that's it guys. Everything was a success, and see ya.